Hey, how's it going? It's Brian Malloy from Silky Smooth Painting, and today we're going to talk about my second favorite color tip. Got my notes here, which is how to use color jujitsu to get a longer lasting result and create a relaxing space at the same time. So a common question that I get when I'm doing color consultations and doing quotes is like, well, should I paint this? Especially when it comes to exteriors, like, should I paint this brick, or should I paint this siding, or should I paint something? And it's always the answer to that question is always it depends, because one of the big problems with painting is that paint fails. We have not figured out as human beings how to create paint that doesn't eventually fail. If you do it wrong, it can fail like within 6 months or a year. But if you pick the right stuff, you're still got 10 years now, which is pretty good. 10, 20 years. So I'm going to show you how this was, some color jiu-jitsu was done really, really well here at Artscape Wychwood Barns. So let me flip this camera here around. One more thing before we get started. If you're looking for to do some exterior painting, or if you're looking to do some interior painting, go to SilkySmooth.ca. There's a $400 gift card on there. Just download it to your phone. It's also got all my contact information there as well. So we're going to get into the Wychwood Barn analysis here. So let me just flip this camera around here. So Wychwood Barns did their thing or got recommissioned here in 2008, according to the plaque there on the wall, and they did a lot of things right in this reno. A couple little things wrong, but one of the things that they did right was when they did you can see all these new windows and the sliding garage door. They used bare aluminum windows and bare aluminum walls. So it's garage door. So you can see there's dents in the bottom of it, but it still looks fine because the whole exterior and the whole design of this place is they tried to use what was existing as much as possible. So that's the trick that I'm going to talk about here. The one place where they did paint, I'm going to zoom in over here, is up here, and we're talking about primers there the other day. They quite obviously did not prime this metal properly, because otherwise it wouldn't be flaking the way it is. So unfortunately, they're going to have to do that. You're going to have to deal with that eventually. Small mistakes can get made. But anyway, let's walking on inside here. Walking on here inside, they made some brilliant design and color decisions with how they set up their open street. First thing I just want to point out is they cleaned off the brick as much as possible and used all of the natural brick. They could have painted this, would have looked good, but then you would have had a failing problem later on. So they first thing they did, cleaned off all the brick and used what was existing. And we said in the previous video, if what you do looks intentional, it will always look good. And sure, this wall is kind of mangled looking, but it looks like it was put there intentionally. Therefore, it looks good. Second thing they did, where they actually made some paint and color decisions, first thing they did is they brought the gray into the beams up top. And you can see these little beam pillars that are inserted in the wall. They painted those, so all of the same elements looked the same. So they did not actually paint that much stuff here. They then painted if everything was that light gray, things would probably look a little bit weird. So what do they do with these doors? Is they paint this nice sort of deep gray, warm gray doors everywhere, which is really, really cool. And they did one other thing, which is just brilliant. This is more a piece of advice for commercial spaces and public spaces, more so than potentially like your home. But they're using these bright colors in this one specific area as a guidepost. It's the only brick area that they painted, and they're using it. You see covered street. They're using it to help people navigate the space, which is really, really cool. Now, color-wise, what they did, which is really, really smart as well, is they, when they were picking their colors, they didn't just pick like fire engine red. They picked a red that was like, that works with what they have. And so that's kind of what color jiu-jitsu is about. It's about how do you work with what it is that you have, and be really smart and selective in order to have the best effect. So if we walk in through here, now you're getting to some areas where they did some painting. Maybe they didn't, I mean, the high traffic area, maybe they didn't pick the most resilient paint, but yeah, see? So they used the yellow here to help guide people through the facility. And I'm not going to wander around too much here, but I think you can sort of get the point. So to check out some like really smart design ideas, I recommend swinging by Wychwood Barns. I love this place. Great for farmers markets on the weekends, and yeah, some really, really like subtle, smart design and color choice decisions. So color tip number 1, if it looks intentional, looks good. Color tip number 2, use color jiu-jitsu and utilize as much as you can of stuff that isn't going to fail, and work with it, because you can make any brick color look good with the right colors around it. Pretty much, you can make any wall look good. Like if you've got old floors, painting your walls ironically can make your floors look better in a really strange and bizarre way. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, if you go to SilkySmooth.ca, I can download my contact card there, and you can schedule a quote. I can come by, help you pick some areas if you're looking to freshen up your place. Take care, and we'll talk to you soon.